This is Jim Jordan with Create Vibrant Health, speaking to you from Cottonwood, Arizona, on September 11th, 2021, which is obviously the 20th anniversary of 9/11, a date that will live in infamy. So right behind me you can see sort of the background here. I'm at my mother's house. There's the house. And yeah, I want to make a video today because this is the 20th anniversary of a very important day in American history. And I remember where I was. Of course, we all remember where we were when we found out. I was working at Dr. Mercola's office, and I heard that two planes had hit, or a plane had hit the World Trade Center tower, and there was a office down the hallway, a medical office that had TV on. So I went down there. We all were looking at it and wondering what the heck is going on here. So anyway, it took me some months later before I was able to unravel what at least I thought was a closer explanation of what may have happened. No one will know exactly, but I do know the official story was not true, and that there was it was what I would call a false flag operation, and that launched the war on terror and gave a sort of opening for legislation to take away more freedoms. And now we have it culminated, of course, in the last year and a half with the COVID-19 operation that we're seeing at state levels and federal level. And it's very scary. You know, back 20 years ago, I was already leaning towards being a little more libertarian, and after I did my research, and I realized that the only answer is decentralization of power. There is no way you can get into a powerful government, the right people to do the right thing. We need decentralized power. We need power at the state level. We need power at the local level. We need a federal system, which is what we have. It was designed this way by our Constitution. So I really started pushing hard for, promoting, 9/11 truth and things I thought were important for people to know. And over the years, I've had a few conversions, but not many, to be honest. But now, as things are breaking more out into the open, with the deep state sort of revealing its hand more and more pretty outrageous, draconian rules about mandating vaccines on companies that have over 100 employees or federal employees and teachers and healthcare practitioners in some states. It's just gotten ridiculous, to the point where many people that in the past may not have even considered there was a nefarious intent behind the policies of the government and the vaccine rollout and the masking and all this other lockdowns. Now we're going, hey, wait a second, let's talk a little bit and see maybe there's some truth to these so-called conspiracy theorists. And for me, it all started on 9/11 20 years ago. It took me a while to really get recalibrated and start to dig in. And then it was a deep dive and very disillusioning. It really was distressing to me, to be honest. And over the years, it probably had an impact on me to feel so disillusioned. But it was time. It was like a wake-up call. It's like an initiation into a political adulthood. And I feel that is sort of a watershed in my life, where I realized that we're not just being lied to, which is, I kind of assumed that to some degree, but that very dark and evil things can be orchestrated by our own elements of our own government, intelligence agencies, corporations, and so from that point on, I've been more or less awake, I think, at least for myself. And I've been trying to preach that to people, to be prepared, to wake up, to realize you're not being told the truth by Big Pharma, by the media, by political parties. And, people might call that cynical or conspiracy or whatever, but I consider that pragmatic and realistic. So now here we are 20 years later, and we're in the biggest crisis of my life, politically, I would say, and as a country. And it's very sad and scary, to be honest. But I think as things get worse, which is, I think, inevitable, policies get more restrictive and governments get more desperate to try to control the narrative, and people start to get deeper truth as healthcare workers start to see all the injured people, vaccine injured people come in and refuse to take the jab themselves, then we have a chance to actually cleanse and heal and purify our system, our government, our society. It's worldwide now. It's not just the United States, but without revelation of truth, without seeing the truth, without some type of acknowledgement of what's actually going on, there is no way to heal. It's like healing the body. You can't heal the body unless you're honest about what's going on. I'm eating crappy. I'm suppressed emotions. It's same thing happened to me 5.5 years ago, and I felt ill. I was suppressing. I was drinking alcohol too much. I was just not doing the right stuff. And now our society can do the same thing, sort of purify and heal from this long-standing corruption, just unbelievable corruption, conflicts of interest. And some people ask me, are you saying, Jim, that all these people are in on some conspiracy? It's like, no, most people are not. They're just doing their job. Just like the Nazis said, I'm just following orders. I'm just doing my job. There's not in their interest to question it. Why would they? They could get fired, and they do get fired. So it's not that they're planning anything. They're just going about their lives. They see they're in a position. They have to, administer things from their hospital level or doctor level, and a percentage step up and say, I'm not interested in doing this, but a larger number probably cooperate. Why they cooperate? Because it's in their interest to cooperate. So there's a quote from a famous Upton Sinclair novel. It's impossible for man to understand something, a man or a woman, let's say, in this case, if their livelihood depends on them not understanding it. So that's the deeper reasoning behind why there's so much cooperation. But despite that, despite enormous risks, more and more people, whistleblowers are coming forward in the healthcare field, in the legal field, in the world of science, medicine, media, all that. People are coming forward. They're stepping up. They realize there is no choice. This is the time for courage. About a week ago, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Had a call to basically, at this point, now is the time for civil disobedience. We cannot rely on the political process, the electoral process, the judicial system to deliver justice. There's compromise at too many levels and too deep. So it is time for civil disobedience. It is our duty to disobey unjust laws. It is our duty. Mahatma Gandhi said that. Martin Luther King said that. We have a duty to disobey and not follow and have civil disobedience in response to unjust laws. So that being the case, we are now in a situation where basically everybody needs to commit acts of nonviolent civil disobedience. That's what Robert Kennedy was saying, and that's what I actually believe to be the truth at this point. We have to not enforce mandates. If we're being told we have to check people for vaccine passports or stuff, don't say no. If your employer, you're told we have to check people to be vaccinated to work here, no. If you're an employee and you say you have to get vaccinated to work there, no. And don't quit. Under any circumstance, don't quit. So the idea is no is the answer to all this. No is the answer. It should have been the answer to the stupid mask thing, but people put up with that. But now we're at the point where I knew this was coming, is that the line is drawn in the sand at the vaccine mandate, when people are risking their health and their lives to keep their jobs because they're being told they have to take a dangerous experimental therapy or something that can be healed by, a few off-label drugs and natural medicine and supplements. It's ridiculous. It's gotten to the point of being it's ridiculous. So there's no alternative now, and this is the message 20 years after 9/11 is, do not let yourself be fooled again. You've been fooled. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's up to you now, people. You can see you're being lied to by government, by media, by health agencies, by the governor, by your representatives often. Don't let it happen. Be a lion, not a sheep. America was founded on lions. We're lions, we're independent, we believe in freedom and responsibility, not just untethered freedom where we can do whatever we want, but to be held responsible for any of our actions that harm others. And if you're a walking infectious agent making people sick, then of course there's reasons to control that. You can't do that, but that has to be proven. It can't be presumed because you have not gotten a shot that you're somehow an agent, a vector of illness. Proof is required for everybody, even medical authorities. They must present proof, scientific evidence, and until that's done, there's no authority for any of these edicts. So 20 years ago, 2 planes hit the World Trade Center, and apparently another plane hit the Pentagon, we're told. For those of you who haven't checked it out, check it out. It's long overdue. Wake up. Wake up, America. Wake up, world. The world is waking up. Be one of those that wakes up and leads. Lead our planet, our humanity to what we're capable of, which is love and compassion, freedom and responsibility, peace and harmony, cooperation with nature, love and respect for each other. That's what we deserve. And it's up to us. There's no leader that's going to lead us there. It's up to us to do it. So this is Jim Jordan on September 11th, 2021. Wishing you a wonderful day.